Hi, I'm Dr. Samantha Brody, and I am a naturopathic physician and acupuncturist in Portland, Oregon. This is part one of my three-part series on how to use MyFitnessPal for tracking your food and making the most of the program. So MyFitnessPal is my favorite online program because it allows me to enter my own foods. It allows me to enter recipes. There's a huge database of products that many different users have added, and that's helpful for me because I tend to buy my food at the health food store rather than at the supermarket. So for instance, I wouldn't go buy Nabisco cookies, I would buy Arrowhead Mills cookies. So this program allows individuals to add foods as they're going. And in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about how to do that and how to, as I said, tell if it's accurate. This first video is going to be about getting yourself set up in here. So when you first sign up, get yourself a login. And if you're one of my patients and I have you here to learn how to use the program, please make sure that you keep track of what your login and password are so we can log in when you're at the office and look at your entries together. Okay. So the first place that we're going to go is to settings. Now, this page that I'm about to pull up is the first page that will come up when you first sign into the program. So I always ask people to enter their current weight and their goal weight as the same, and to note that they are sedentary and that they will not be working out. And then also, I ask people to note that they want to maintain their current weight. And the reason that I do all of that is because I find that when we use formulas to try to assess how many calories someone should eat and how many calories they've burned and try to get an idea of how any one individual's metabolism works, that those numbers just are not accurate. And people get discouraged when they're trying to follow the guidelines that the program recommends, but they're because their body doesn't work like that. So I find it best to just go ahead and enter that you want to keep your same weight and that you're not going to be exercising and you don't put your exercise in. So you can really get the most out of tracking your food, understanding more about what you're eating, adjusting things, and then not getting caught up in the minutia of how many calories you've eaten on any given day, but really look at the gestalt or the big picture of what you want to create for yourself and your health with your food. Okay, update profile. The next place that I'm going to go on this My Home tab, so we did settings, and the next I'm going to click on goals. And they are going to give you the spot to click to change goals, and then they recommend not changing them because, again, they want MyFitnessPal to determine it for you. I really prefer that people set their own goals in here, and the reason is that the general recommendation that is made for people is to have 50% carbohydrates in their diet, and in my experience, most people do better with lower amounts of carbs than that. Now, that said, everyone is different. And, for one person, I may recommend a lower fat diet if they, for instance, don't have a gallbladder. Or someone else, I may recommend a much higher protein diet if they have, say, type 2 diabetes, because I know carbohydrates are going to break down to sugar, and we're trying to keep their blood sugar lower. The other change I want to make here is fiber. 25 grams of fiber is what you're shooting for. And then sodium is fine at 2,500 unless you are really have high blood pressure, in which case I might even shoot for lower than that. Okay, change goals. So that updated those numbers, and the other tabs on the home base here are things that I'm not particularly interested in, but if you want to go play around here, it's mostly for if you want to share what you're doing and join in and have a group of people supporting you online with your changes that you're making. Okay, next tab is food. So this is where we enter foods. And this outline here where it says breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner snack is what I entered for me. I'm going to go over here to settings, and you can see down here under meal names that I set it up like that. It originally comes when you sign in saying breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. For me, I really like to adjust it out. Oh, and it even has here, if you eat meals at particular times, you can do that. And then up here, it's going to come in. This is the other thing we want to adjust here. It says nutrients tracked, and it comes with the setting of carbohydrate, fat, protein, and that's it. It has this whole list of different things you can track. So typically the things I'm going to add are sugar and fiber, although for people who have high blood pressure, I also will want to track sodium. So I'll swap one of these things out. And again, depending on the person, I will make a different recommendation about that. Okay, save changes. The next tab is exercise, and again, you can put this in, but my experience is that people don't really get good representation of how many calories they're burning from these programs. So in my estimation, it's not a worthwhile thing to track. Now that said, making a note of what you're doing for your exercise may very well be helpful. So what you would do is click edit note and then enter went to gym, 30 minutes cardio, upper body lifting circuit, or whatever it is that you did. There's also a note section under your food, and that's where I track my exercise when I am tracking my exercise. Okay, and under exercise database, that's if you do want to enter your exercise. And My Exercises gives you a place to enter your own exercise and how many calories that you burn during that time if you are using some other way to track it. So this may be the one exception of when I would track your exercise and your calorie burn, is if you have a body bug or something similar that's tracking your own individual personal calorie expenditure. In that case, I think it's worthwhile entering that here. Okay, the reports tab. This gives you an opportunity to track your nutrition or your fitness or your progress. It'll let you track your calories or your carbs or your fiber, and give it a reporting period. I do not have data entered in here yet, so I'm not going to be able to show you examples of that. But once you get data loaded in, you can go ahead and play with those as well. Okay, that's how we're going to get set up, and in our next video, we will be talking about how to enter food and make the most of tracking your food. And maybe you'll learn how to do push-ups like that. You just never know. All right, thanks for joining me. Bye.